No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Isaiah 54, chapter 17. In today's class, we're going to cover from Resla's channel two Dick Smacks, Brick Jones, and Generally Specific, both who you know if you're watching this channel. Both are fake Christians, fake people of faith, and full of shit. Also, panelists are Lindsay, I don't know, the snowman dude, I don't know, and off the screenshot is Resla and Joe Cool. Joe Cool is pretty cool, and Resla hosts a pretty good show until these two Dick Smacks, circled in yellow, show up, and then it always goes off topic.
Come on, Lindsay.
Just if one person wants to ask me a question, I'd be good with that, but I can't field all of these like at the same time, and I don't know. Clearly, what I've said has been offensive or taken a certain way that was not what I intended.
Right. Hold on.
Yeah. See, I'm already interrupted.
You keep saying that you've...
What you've just missed before this screen capture is from the video known as Beasts of Burden. The topic is whether we're codependent, whether we're of service, whether we let people use us, etc., when to say no and all that. And once Generally Specific and Brick Jonesy get up, the topic changes. And what you just missed is all these gentlemen interrupting Lindsay, battering her with questions. Brick Jones would say, what's the first letter of the alphabet? And before he finishes saying the word alphabet, Generally Specific would say, what's the first number in the Roman numeric system? And these questions just keep piling on. They interrupt her answers to interrupt each other, and she can't get a word in edgewise. And, well, of course, Generally Specific's going to pretend like he's not offended. The motherfucker is offended. Let's watch and learn.
Way that was not what I intended.
Right. Hold on.
Yeah. See, I'm already interrupted.
You keep saying that you've offended people. I am not offended. I am not offended. I'm not offended.
Okay, then why can't we move on then?
I'm trying to give you the space to answer these questions. I'm the guy who played the Roxbury clip.
Once again, not his content. He's still someone else's content and tries to take it out of context to make a point that really is not a valid point. But as you just witnessed, even when she's explaining, I can only answer one question at a time. He's interrupting her again. That's what he and Brick do.
So here's an interesting thing, though.
Very good.
So the interesting
I'm not trying to antagonize, intimidate, make somebody feel less than. I'm not trying to do any of those things. What I'm genuinely trying to do is be myself and stick to my own principles.
Lindsay, I have some bad news for you. If you ever speak your mind and it's not lockstep with Brick Jones or Generally Specific, they are naturally antagonized, intimidated, and feel belittled because their concept of being the center of the universe is disproven right there. In their minds, you're not really allowed to speak your opinion. It's not approved.
Given that, if you don't like me for any reason or like what I say, that's okay. It's your prerogative, right? But I don't see why this congest our conversation.
Well, right now, it's not about like or dislike. It's just an observation that I've made.
It's engaging your.
I disagree with it. I don't agree with that. And I've been in many rooms.
Let you guys get in. You niggas been back and forth for a while. Let other
6.5 times over even.
To a disagreement of opinions. No one is going to cave to whatever side. But questions were given, things were answered. It didn't matter whether we liked what we heard. Opinions were given.
And Reza's a good host. He pointed out very matter-of-factly, all she did was share her opinion. And the answers that they heard when they were talking over each other, they didn't like. And they're offended. Especially Specific and Jonesy. Let's continue.
I tried to as soon as I came up, and then I was interrupted many times, and I forgot.
Okay. And that's what they do. Whether it's just one of them, General Specific alone, or Brick Jonesy alone, or if it's a bunch of them, The idea is just to battle review questions faster than you can answer them, and then when they get to the 10th or 12th question in, you've forgotten, and when they call you out on not answering the 3rd or 4th question, they try to paint you as being less intelligent. That's their way of covering for their lack of intelligence.
Well, so are you related to Tom Petty? Because you're being petty as fuck right now. I'm just gonna say, right? Listen, there's been I don't know you from Adam.
No, you don't have to live like a refugee. Live like a refugee. 1980. 1980 is when we first heard that joke. That very petty, childish joke. 1980. What am I? I was pretty young back in those days. That joke would have hit home when I was the age I was in 1980.
Funny thing is that you out of your own mouth said that you were in a channel where there was a white person came in and acted all like a jerk off, and you didn't like it. So that's
and vice versa.
Right, and that's 3 examples right there in a row of you kind of panel hunting to try to tone police people.
No, come on.
Well, I mean, I don't know you from Adam.
Panel hunting to be Captain Saber whoever.
Yeah,
panel hopping.
I panel hop because of conversations.
Huh. She panel hops for conversations. That's exactly what generally Spastic does. And Brick Jonesy. They'll panel hop here. They'll panel hop Flow State. They'll panel hop to Raging Tomato. They'll panel. Hey, they've panel hopped onto my panels back when I used to do panels. The reason they do it is to push their narrative. Therefore, they assume that anybody else that jumps around panels is doing the same thing. She's sharing an opinion. She's not trying to push her content. She's not trying to get more viewers on her channel. She's sharing her opinion, unlike you two opinionated assholes.
I don't know what in the holy world you're talking about.
All right, break it down to her, Angry. She doesn't.
No. I get what he's saying, but I don't agree with it, and I just.
I didn't get it.
Right, but you're entitled to your own opinions, Lindsay, but you're not entitled to your own facts. Okay, there seems to
maybe I don't care what you have to say either.
Well,
after getting to know you, I'm not so sure I do.
You're just gonna gish gallop. I'm married, 34 years. I've been with the same woman. I'm not on the hunt, lady. So you're sniffing up the wrong tree, right?
Neither am I.
Well, that's a weird flex coming from a guy who tries to overtip waitresses. A guy who wants to smell other female panelists' fingers after pretending that. Todd, you are unhappily married to a woman who owns you, and you're always trying to get laid on the internet, and you're always failing. That was a weird flex. Let's continue.
Ask you a question. What is your favorite hobby? Like legit. What do you like to do? If you had spare time and you were not bothered, you were able to do something for like 5 hours in a day, and it wouldn't take away from anything else that was important. You just got to sit down and do this or stand up and do that. What would it be?
But Todd, you're married. You're off to market. Ladies on the internet are wasting their time. Here you are asking questions like you're on some sort of date, or you want to be on some sort of date. You're getting weirder and weirder every day.
Writing.
Okay. All
right.
Do you like making sandwiches?
What'd you write? That's
hey, Brick, come on, man.
Sorry.
What the hell, man?
What would you write?
Now, Todd, are you pretending to not repeatedly use the joke about women making sandwiches for men? Or are you mad at Brick for stealing your material? I don't know, but you're on record for that kind of misogyny.
Writing.
Okay. All
right.
Do you like making sandwiches?
What'd you write? That's
hey, Brick, come on, man.
Sorry.
What the hell, man?
What would you write?
It's in good taste. I apologize.
I write.
What would you write?
I write lots of poetry. I write fiction.
I'd love to hear your favorite, but you probably get torn up here. I'm not going to ask you to recite poetry. Damn it, it'll be clipped everywhere. But
I can do that for you sometime. Probably not here. They probably don't want to hear it.
All right.
Yeah, roses are red, violets are blue. I busted my nut. You're all full of glue. Oh, goo. I'm sorry. Hey, Andrew Dice Clay. Hey,
I would say, Todd, don't give up your day job, but Todd hasn't had a day job in decades. Uh, yeah, so that's some corny shit there. And you're trying to impress a lady that you're also trying to make fun of and put down. You're going to fail. You're not getting laid tonight.
Hey, let me ask the panel, since someone said it, is it cool to be prejudiced?
I hate raw tomatoes, so I hope it is.
That's
I believe that everybody's
Sir,
prejudiced.
if you are American, you have been conditioned to be prejudiced.
And the host, and as far as I could catch, only the host, definitely not specific and definitely not Jonesy, but the host correctly pegs racism and other forms of bigotry and prejudice in America today. If you are prejudiced, you are conditioned to be so. It's not nature. It is nurture. You have to be taught. You have to be carefully taught. And actually, really, that's an old song. You don't have to be carefully taught. It comes natural from watching commercials and going to the workplace. And in Todd's case, sitting in your wife's basement and watching right-wing extremist YouTube videos. And but Brick Jones is going to teach us all about the difference between discernment and prejudice. On second thought, Brick Jones isn't what I want to get at, so I'll just tell you. Prejudice, in context of what they're talking about, is a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. Now, discernment. Brick Jonesy tries to cover his prejudice by relabeling it as discernment, but as you can see, discernment is making opinion based on something without other facts. Just by looking at someone, you can tell if there's someone you should be worried about. Maybe they have darker skin. Maybe the context of their lips are a little different. Maybe they don't look like, well, a Duck Dynasty version. Yeah. Okay. Racism noted, Brick, and confirmed. And the idea of going to Google, actually, I have to give credit where it's due. A chatter named Spider Dog, who I usually don't get along with, but since he turned down my $10, I have to give him a little more respect. He's the one actually in the chat said, if only there was some book or some place on the internet where you could learn the meaning of words. Yeah, that's good advice, Brick Jones. Google that shit.
Be prejudiced. I mean, we naturally want to tribe up, and we tribe up with people that we look like. I mean, even when you go somewhere that's foreign to you, be it another state, overseas, another country, when you walk into a foreign room where all the people are new to.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, I don't really think about it, and I don't believe it's beneficial.
Oh no, well, it's not beneficial, but there's no way that's sitting there and saying that if you ignore it, it's going to be beneficial either.
Discernment
I
is
think you
fine.
guys are going to have to define prejudice first.
Yeah,
you guys will have to define prejudice first.
Discernment is fine. Being prejudicial is not.
Sir.
Well, what if you prejudge? What if you prejudge a raw tomato?
Walking past a group of.
What is generally specifics repeating of the tomato joke? I don't know if he just doesn't like vegetables or if he's still butthurt because Sarah, the Raging Tomato, a YouTube character, doesn't co-sign his bullshit. I don't know if that's the case or what's going on here. He definitely doesn't seem to like tomatoes. Okay.
I think it's
all that shit.
Yeah, it's not.
If I see, let's say,
I'm trying to think about. I'm already thinking about. I'm trying to think about where the nearest project is.
In order
all that shit.
In order to have this discernment, aren't you already judging the situation to begin with?
No.
Yes.
No.
If I'm trying to smooth this guy, he walks up, he has baggy pants on and a hoodie. I got to assume he likes rap music. I think he's from the culture, and I'm gonna go that way with it.
So, Brick's trying to tell us that if you see a person and he happens to be black and he's got baggy pants and they're riding a little bit low, you can use discernment, not prejudice, to decide that you're not going to trust them, that they should be scary. That's racist, man. And, it's taught to you. You weren't born with it. You were raised with it and again, commercials and, well, if you worked, your job place, just how society behaves and acts, and you learn it. But let's hear something stupid from Spastic.
Well, I'd like to share an experience. I grew up in Lily-White, Connecticut. I think we had like two black dudes and like a half black, half Puerto Rican chick who had a crush on me in high school. That was about the extent of my quote unquote diversity. My family is very liberal, as most people in Connecticut are. I was a Democrat registered my entire life up until becoming an independent last election cycle.
Oh, look at that. He forgot that he already told us in 2016 he would have voted for Trump. But okay, we'll buy your bullshit. Lily White, Connecticut. Connecticut has the sixth highest per capita population of people from Puerto Rico. So that's just another example of how you don't understand the world around you. And no, when that half black, half Puerto Rican girl kicked the books out of your hand, flicked your ears, spit on you, that wasn't flirting. She didn't have a crush on you. She was expressing her ultimate hatred for you. And the other girls who used to beat you up too. Yeah, that's just pure, unadulterated bullshit.
I joined the Army at 19 right out of high school. And when I went into the Army, I actually, after basic training, which it all sucked for everyone, so nobody cared what color your skin was. It was the suck. I went over to my first duty station was in Korea. Now in Korea, we weren't black Americans, we weren't white Americans, we weren't Hispanic Americans. We were American soldiers in Korea in the suck. So once again, we're in the suck. So,
wow. Neither basic training. Oh, maybe it got worse after 82. Basic training for the Army in 1982 was not the suck. And Korea, apparently I was there 1 year after him. It was not the suck. Korea was actually a lot of fun. And basic training was very interesting. The suck. What a bitch-ass crybaby.
when I went to the cafeteria, I think they call it the cafeteria test, right? When I went to the cafeteria, the chow hall, you get your tray, and everyone sat with everyone. It wasn't like the white dudes were over here, the Hispanic dudes were. I mean, it wasn't segregated at all. So imagine my surprise when I ETS'd out of Korea and I went to Fort Lewis, Washington.
Come on, Todd. You don't ETS from one duty station to another. You PCS. ETS, PCS. One more time, your stupidity, your inability to explain things as they truly are, is why so many people find it hard to believe that you're actually a veteran. I know you're a veteran. I just realized that you're a stupid veteran. And no, you're not lying about PCS versus ETS. You're just being stupid, but you do tell a lot of lies. It's really hard to tell the difference from you when you're lying and when you're just misunderstanding what's right there before you. Now, the unit Todd was in Korea for 1 year, from Turtle Farm back to Turtle Farm, 1 year, was the 5th Battalion, 20th Infantry. A year and a half later, the unit I was in Korea for 1 year, from Turtle Farm back to Turtle Farm, was 5th Battalion, 20th Infantry. Some H-frames, a couple of Quonset huts, but right there over by 2nd ID, and the only place to eat when your unit, as a unit, breaks for lunch is the chow hall. Maybe a few people might go over to the Quonset hut Burger King, but nobody went to family housing to have lunch with their wives. Nobody went off base to pay their bills. The kinds of things you do at Fort Lewis or Fort Polk or Fort Campbell, you break for lunch, and or dinner. Dinner's after the duty day. It's dinner time. Where are you going to go in Korea? The only place, the mess hall. Where are you going to go at Fort Stewart or Fort Polk or Fort Lewis? You're going to go home, or you're going to go to the restaurant off base. During lunch, you might even slip out to pay some bills. You're not going to do that in Korea because everybody in Korea is there on a one-year tour, a hardship tour without your family. And there's nothing off base that you can go to during lunch. You have to wait till the time of liberty, of your weekend pass or your evening pass. So you're kind of a captive audience in a place like Korea. It's not because the Army assigns less racist people to Korea than they do to Fort Lewis. And if you had any ability to see what is right before you, you might understand that. Let's see what other stupid shit Todd has to say.
And when I got my tray, turned around, looking for a place to sit, had not knowing anyone at this point in time, really. And everyone seemed pretty much segregated. And I thought to myself, well, where the fuck am I supposed to sit? This doesn't make any sense to me. So it's interesting that Lindsay would pose that question. Matter of fact, if I open up my photo.
Wow. He got his tray, turned around, and didn't know where to sit? What? Because you saw people clicking as they're sitting? All right. Now we're not in Korea. We're in a stateside duty station. You're E4 below. You live in the barracks. You are not on separate rations. You turn around and all the married folks are at home. There may be a few that paid a couple dollars to eat at the mess hall, but most of them, they went home or they brought a lunch. They're not in the cafeteria. They're not in the mess hall. You're new. And people there are there for a year, for 3 years, for 4 years. Some people re-enlist and have been there. They're homesteading. You're new, and, well, as usual, it's hard for you to make friends when it's not forced on your unit to be friendly to you. Hey, you got some free time? Go eat lunch. You don't know anybody, and nobody likes you. I'm sorry, Todd. Nobody has ever liked you.
I say I'm using.
I think they're the same thing, and we're fooling ourselves.
And not having wisdom in the situations you may put yourself in. Will prosper kind of message. What Brick is saying, because there's a like no weapon formed against me will prosper kind of message there, and I respect that.
I'm not sure that was his message.
But for me, it's like
pretty
why,
accurate.
yeah, why put yourself into a situation where you're gonna get.
How does that no weapon formed against me no weapons against me shall prosper got to do with prejudging? Explain that.
He's not living in fear. That's kind of what I got.
I'm allowing someone else to do the judging.
Right.
And 23 minutes into it, I'm at the point that I wanted to get to when I started. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. What'd he say? Oh, fucking Todd and Brick, you guys get it so wrong. The references to the stuff you've experienced, cultural references, theological references, that's not what that part of the Bible, it's Isaiah. It's Isaiah 54, chapter 17. Let's hear it again. All right, boys and girls, this is Rabbi Finkel, Minister Finkel, Imam Finkel. Turn to your Holy Scriptures, the book of Isaiah 54, verse 17. Chapter 54, verse 17. Read with me. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment of you, you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, says the Lord. That's Isaiah giving a message for God. In this case, the Lord is God. Who is he giving this message to? Servants of God. Todd and Brick, you are not servants of God. You serve yourselves. You serve your YouTube channels. You don't even serve the women. Well, there are no women in Brick's life. You don't even serve your wife, Todd. You're a self-servant. You serve yourself. You don't serve God. Okay. But they're not even talking to modern-day fake Christians. They're talking to pre-Christian Jews. Ooh. What specific Jews are they talking to? They are talking to Jews in exile. That's right. Not only are they in exile, in the Babylonian exile, these Jews are being told of a day that they will return to the land that is barren now. In that time, the land that is barren now is Israel. Yes. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. That is against those who would put a new state of Israel in what is current day Israel. Zionists. That paragraph is for Jewish Zionist people who want to reestablish Israel. Todd, you can't successfully incorporate what was told to Zionists thousands of years ago to be your own. When we speak in judgment against you, tough shit, you gotta live with it. Because you speak stupid shit. You say stupid shit, and you're fucking wrong. Gulf, India, not indigo, India, whiskey. Whiskey, that shit that you drink too much of. You get everything wrong. You get biblical references wrong. You get cultural references wrong. You get your own experience in the army wrong. You get everything wrong. Gulf, Echo, whiskey. Get everything wrong. Todd, it would behoove you to shut the fuck up. And once again, I award you and Brick Jonesy this coveted Todd Bryant Award.